taking them hiking overnight into the backcountry of New Zealand, and this is what we are taking with us, which feels like a lot, but somehow we are going to put it all into this backpack, and if it doesn't fit into this backpack, then I'm going to have to put it in a bigger backpack. I'm going to run through everything that we are taking on our overnight hike. Hopefully I haven't forgotten anything. So my toddler is 2 currently, and 2-year-olds get really messy and they have lots of accidents. They fall into puddles easier. They're more likely to get wet. When we go hiking, the general rule of thumb is we wear something to walk in, something to sleep in, and then a backup just in case. I do it so that we have layers. Starting off with nappies. So when you are hiking with kids and nappies, you either take cloth nappies or disposables. The cons of disposable nappies is in the backcountry you have to carry out everything with you. So that means if you carry in disposables and they get wet, you obviously have to carry them back with you, heavy and wet. You cannot dry them out, you cannot burn them, you just have to carry them with you. So that's totally fine if you want to carry them on an overnight trip, totally fine. I have done that before. I much prefer using cloth nappies. I usually use cloth nappies at home full time. I haven't been recently due to sickness and health issues, but I much prefer them because you can reuse them. Even if you don't reuse them, you can dry them out on the back of your pack so you're not carrying heavy nappies. Now the downside of the cloth nappies is they're more bulky, and obviously you have to change them more often because they don't hold as much as the disposables. I mean, look how compact this one is compared to this one. I still prefer these ones, especially if we're doing multi-day hikes. So here we go, this is what I'm taking for my toddler. I have some cloth wipes, not only good for wiping bums, but faces, anything. Obviously don't wipe your face with the same thing you wiped your bum with, but we have separate cloths and we don't reuse them. Right, let's carry on. So I am carrying, to do cloth nappies, I carry these cotton flats. They fold out like this. So because of that, it means that they are easy to dry. Cotton dries quick, it does get wet a bit quick. So for a quick overnight tramping trip, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I've probably got a few too many, and then I've got 3 shells. I change the inserts out and I just use the shells if they're only peeing in them. I carry 3 nappies, so we've got backups. This one is a nighttime nappy because it's bigger and thicker. So that's the nappy situation. The dirty nappies I put in a dry bag like this. I have a big collection of dry bags from different places. This one is Kathmandu, this one is Macpac. I really like these little Macpac ones. You can also get dry bags from Kmart. I have one from Kmart, super cheap. They're quite thick and a little bit heavier, but they're good for carrying nappies in. I can also use the dry bag to wash the nappies in if we're staying in a hut, because the bag can duplicate as a bucket. So here we've got the nappies. When you're out on the trail, I simply change the baby, carry on, put the dirty stuff into the bag. If it's just pee, I attach it to the back of my pack. If it's raining, it'll get a rinse. If it's windy, it'll dry really quickly, and then you're not carrying heavy, wet nappies. So that's the nappy situation. And then we're moving on to the clothes. Starting with which side do we start with? The outer layer. So I have, these are Therm fleece-lined pants. They are good. They're quite thick inside. They're quite heavy to take tramping, but since we're going in the middle of winter, these are perfect to keep baby super dry and warm, especially because I will be carrying the toddler quite a lot, so she will get colder. So I've got fleece-lined pants. I've got a fleece-lined jacket. These are size 2. The jacket's a size 3. It's a little bit big on her, but I don't mind having slightly oversized jackets. It means they can also keep them warmer because they can tuck their hands inside here and keep themselves warmer. It is really hard to get gloves onto little children. Next we have a fleece set. So this one is from Macpac. I love the colour. These ones are Backcountry. Now their Backcountry brand is from the Warehouse. Amazingly cheap fleece. Not merino, what's my brain working on? This is fleece. These pants are super cheap, and I mean, these are lovely, but if you are on a super tight budget, the Backcountry brand from the warehouse, super cheap, does exactly the same thing. Fleece is one thing that you can cut down cost on, because you don't need to buy it. It doesn't need to be super expensive to be good. Fleece is fleece, and the bigger, bulkier fleeces are not any warmer than the thinner fleeces. So yeah, that's a good one for the budget. Polypro layers. Polypro is basically plastic, I guess, but it's good at locking in the heat. It's not breathable, so it's generally not ideal to have against your skin, but it is cheap. It's a good alternative if you react to merino wool. These ones are very old secondhand ones from Kathmandu. This set is from Macpac. My favorite Polypro thermals are the geothermals from Macpac. They are a little bit more expensive than like places like Posty, but they are a little bit more expensive. But these ones last forever. These geothermals have lasted my baby since she was like 9 months old. So I've got a set of thermals, and then I've got 2 sets of the Polypro thermals. I have 2 pairs of merino thermals. These ones are from Farmers. Very old, very secondhand. These ones are from Pumpkin Patch. Columbine, Farmers. I get my merino stuff from all over the place. Sometimes it matters about quality, sometimes it doesn't. So most of the baby's merinos are actually from Farmers. I find them to be quite good. When it comes to the merino quality, cheap places like Posty Plus are fine, but you might find they'll wear out faster, they'll stretch faster, and they'll get more holes because the quality is not as amazing. Also, when you're washing merino, some detergents can cause them to get holes quicker. So make sure you use a wool wash. So she's got 2 pairs of polyprop pants, a set of merinos, and then she's got 3 merino long sleeves. So that's what the toddler has. She's got 3 pairs of socks, she's got a pair of gloves, and she's got a balaclava for a hat. This was hand sewn by a friend. I also have her down jacket. This is a Kathmandu one. It's very dirty, as you can see, perfect to take tramping. I use this as an extra layer. So this is what my toddler is taking. Then she has her hiking shoes. These are from Merrill. They are quite cute. No, they're not barefoot shoes, but it's a bit tricky with barefoot. Barefoot shoes are obviously better. I don't have them. I have these cute little Merrill ones, and then we have these neoprene gumboots. Neoprene gumboots, really good for toddlers tramping who are just starting to walk, because they keep them really warm and insulated. Obviously barefoot shoes would be so much better, but my general rule is, well, we do wear these shoes, but I encourage them to not wear shoes at all, so that they, On to my 6-year-old. Bigger kids are slightly easier to dress in outdoor gear, because the smaller kids, it's so much harder trying to find the right gear. Unless you're in places like America, they have a huge array of gear for little babies and little kids, because it's ridiculously cold there. It's harder to find smaller kids gear, but it's slightly easier to find bigger kids stuff in the outdoor section. So moving on to my big kid, I have got his outer layer, which he has got the same therm fleece lined jacket. Love this, it's amazing. Then he has got, these are my favorite pants for kids hiking. These are from Macpac. I can't remember the exact name of them, but they are fleece lined. There's no name on them. They're like fleece lined hiking pants. I think they might be bringing out a new one this year maybe, but these I got on sale at the end of the season, and so they were way cheaper than full price. Best thing to do is to get stuff at the end of the season for the next year, because it's a lot cheaper. So yeah, love these pants. These are from Macpac. Next I have the Therm Outdoor rain pants. These ones are not fleece lined, which is totally fine for my bigger kid. If I needed to add an extra layer, he's got fleece pants, and he's also got Polypro pants, so he can put those obviously underneath his rain pants and layer it that way. I really like the fleece lined rain gear for little kids, because it means that it's 2 layers in one. So if you struggle to put more than 1 layer on a child because they're like, no, I don't want to wear that, it's so much easier just to put one jacket, done and dusted. So here we've got, for my big kid, he's got 1 pair of merino pants, he's got a pair of hunting and fishing fleece pants, and then he's got a pair of Polypro tights. So these here, the Polypros can be layered on top of the merinos, and that's like an extra warm layer, or you could put the merinos underneath the fleece ones. The fleece ones are a little bit thicker, more durable than the Polypro, so it's good to have as a layer over top of the polypropylene, if that makes sense. So he's got his 3 pairs of pants. He's got his hiking ones. These, this set I got from, these are from MacPack, but I got them secondhand. I think it was like 25 bucks or something for the pants in the bottom. Absolutely amazing. I bought them a couple of years ago. These are size 8. My 6-year-old is slightly on the bigger side. I mean, I'm quite large myself. I'm very tall. He wears a lot of size 8 stuff now. I don't get him size 6 anymore. So he's got that top. He's got 2 merino tops. He's got two Polypro tops. And then he's got his fleece jumper. He's got a merino t-shirt. This is one that I hand sewed. Most of my kids' stuff is basically the same. I just get the bigger size up for the bigger kid. So the geothermals from MacPack, I made that merino t-shirt. This is the same fleece from MacPack but a bigger size because I love the colour. This is his down jacket. I love the Uber down jackets from MacPack because they pack away really small. Now the Uber down is definitely not the warmest layer, but it's a super lightweight layer to add. For kids, I like to carry more layers so that you can layer them up or lay them down, or they have spare changes of clothes if they get something wet, muddy or dirty. So I find that's better than having, I don't know, I prefer carrying more layers that he can layer up with that are like lightweight. I don't know if that makes sense. He's got a pair of gloves. These are from the Warehouse, I think, or Kmart. They're just a plain synthetic pair of gloves. He's got his hiking socks. These ones are also from MacPack. I quite like these hiking socks. They're good thick ones for winter. They're nice and warm here. Then he's got another pair of socks for spares. I don't know where his other hiking socks are, so he's using a spare pair of my socks. Not ideal, but it works. He's got this thing we got from somewhere, and then he's got a hat. He also has a buff. Where is it? Here we go. The kids, my big kid especially, gets a really cold face when we're hiking in winter. So he loves the buff because he can put it over his nose and keep himself much warmer. He uses this all the time. And that's his clothes. His shoes are also from Merrell. These ones are waterproof, which is great unless he gets water in the top. Then they are not waterproof. I don't remember exact make and brand of these ones, but those are from Merrell. Loves them. These are great. Perfect for kids. Kids don't need a huge amount of ankle support. In fact, sometimes it's better to give them just runners without too much ankle support so that they can have the flexibility of movement. These ones are quite good because they have a little bit of support but not too much. Then he has his Merrell Mocks. These are hut shoes for walking around in the hut or around if he needs to go out to the toilet and stuff like that. So that's his clothes. And then this is my 6-year-old's backpack. In his backpack he is carrying snacks for the walk, up and go, because that's his special treat. Fruit puree because it gives him really good energy, muesli bar, and then he'll obviously share my snacks. He's got a head torch, a wipe apparently. He's got books, pens and pencils, and he's also got a pocket knife and a spare cloth apparently. So that's what he is carrying in his backpack. And he will also carry a water bottle. Hydration bladder. These are great for the kids because he can be drinking out of it while he's walking and he will stay hydrated longer with it. It's not recommended, but sometimes I'll put electrolytes into it and then he will drink even more, and then I notice with the kids when they're walking, they walk so much better if they have electrolytes in their drink because it gives them, the electrolytes seem to work a lot better than anything else. So yeah. And moving on to mum's gear. So starting off with the outer layer, this is a new raincoat from MacPack. It's got a hood that folds out. I love the colour, always a big bright stuff. When you're looking at raincoats, I look at the rain rating. Obviously I think it's 10,000. If the rain rating is like 10,000 or above, then it's good for tramping. You want to make sure it's going to be proper waterproof. So check out the rain ratings. I've got rain pants. These are the jet streams from Macpac. Love them. They are the cheaper ones. I went for the cheaper ones because I knew that sometimes it's better to just be, I'm more likely to be rough and tumbling with, what's the word, bush bashing, walking on a rough track. Oh my goodness, I can't even talk straight. So anyways, I went for the cheaper option because sometimes it's better to pay less for something and not worry about it getting too damaged than paying a lot more for it and worrying about it getting damaged. And the jet streams work perfectly fine for what I need. The raincoat, much more important to be fully waterproof. I want to be able to walk through mostly downpour and stay dry. So I like this one. I went into the shop, tried them on, looked at the different rain ratings, talked to the staff. They're really helpful at getting you what you need. So that's the rain gear. What I'm walking in, I walk in activewear. So this is just a pair of activewear pants. These are from Lorna Jane. They are my favorites. I've had them last year and I wear them a lot. So these are the, I think they're Lorna Jane winter tights. I've also got a phone pocket. I just really like these ones. They're comfy. I don't have much of a figure, so stuff doesn't stay on easily. So I walk in that, and then I walk in my merino t-shirt. This is from Icebreaker. Love this one. So I walk in this, and then because it's winter, I'll probably also be walking in this one here too. This is from Icebreaker. Love them. Amazing quality merino. If it's not in your budget to buy Icebreaker, check them out secondhand on like Marketplace and you can find some much cheaper stuff. Yes, but amazing quality. I love them. So that's what I'm wearing to walk in, and then I've got my hiking socks. These are also from Macpac. I quite like these ones. They're quite cushioned and cozy. You want decent hiking socks because they cushion you here and here and can help prevent against blisters. I've got gloves that I'll also probably walk in maybe because hands get cold. I'm always torn between fingerless gloves and non-fingerless. I think these ones came from Macpac. These ones came from the Warehouse. They're fingerless. I actually wear these all the time. They're really thick and warm, but I like the fingerless ones so I can use my phone and I can touch the screen and stuff. So yeah, I'll usually walk in those if it's particularly cold. Then hut layers. I've got one pair of merino tights. These are also from Icebreaker. If merino is not in your budget, don't forget you can use Polypro. It's not the best, but it works much better than cotton. Never ever wear cotton hiking. Please don't do it. Polypro if you must. These are Polypro tights, so I'll wear these either over top of these or as an extra layer because it's always good. So that's kind of how I figure things out, is I've got the tights and I've got these ones. I also have fleece pants which are a little bit more bulky, and I'll take those especially if we're tenting or camping and it's really cold. We're staying in a hut, so it's going to be a lot warmer. My tights I'll be walking in, and then I'll have these and these to wear together if it's really cold, or I'll just wear the merino tights on their own in the hut. I have a merino top that I made myself. It's actually a breastfeeding layer because I've just finished breastfeeding, so I've still got all my breastfeeding clothes and I can't just throw them out because they still work just as fine. So I've got this that I'll wear in the hut when we get there, or just whatever. And then I have this is the layer that doesn't matter when it comes to cost, is the fleece layer. This though, I love this one. It's from Macpac. It's a zippy one. It's some kind of fancy fleece and I really like it. It's a good nice cozy layer, and I wear that over top of the merino. But I would, where are we at? So I would probably have this at the top so I can wear it with my walking stuff if it gets really cold. And then I have another fleece that I would wear in the hut or as a backup layer. This one is from Stony Creek. I absolutely love this one. It's super light, really compact. It's nice and cozy and fleece inside, so it locks that temperature into your body. I can put a merino underneath it and wear this over top, and this keeps me super warm. This is one of my favorite layers to take hiking. I've had this for ages. I know you can get the Stony Creek fleece lined tights. I have looked at them, but I don't like getting too hot, and unless it was really cold, I'm not sure if I can handle hiking in fleece tights. Then I have my down jacket. Now I have an uber light jacket, and I would take that on summer hikes. For winter hikes, this is the Macpac Halo, and I much prefer this because obviously it's a lot warmer and a little bit more bulky. So that's my down jacket. I have a spare pair of hiking socks because you always need a spare pair. I usually only hike with 2 pairs of socks for myself, 3 pairs for the kids, because I will wear 1 pair every single day of the hike and I'll have a spare pair to change into. Some people prefer taking a new pair of socks to wear every single day of the hike. I don't care about wearing the same dirty socks every single day if I'm on a multi-day hike, because I can't even shower anyway, so what's the point of putting clean socks on? But that's just my logic. I'd much rather just get home, wash everything, wash myself and do a deep clean at the end of the hike. I've got my hat. Sometimes I take this on winter hikes if it's extra cold. If it's not, then I just take my ear warmer. This is another one from MacPack. Doing a lot of MacPack stuff here, as you can see, but we've shopped there a lot. So this is fleecy. I quite like it because it's really warm, and I get really cold ears when I'm hiking in wind or in the cold, so I wear this all the time. And then I have my buff, which I always go hiking with a buff because I can either use it as an ear warmer, I can use it over my face, and it's good to have a backup because one of my kids might get a really cold face and need extra warmth. So there we go. That's my stuff. Now, moving on to the sleeping situation. So my kids have the Morrison outdoor sleeping bags. They go from the age of 6 months onwards. This is I think this is a 6 to 24 month size. Now these are great. I think the newer ones don't have sewed in hands, but this one has sewed in hands, which my toddler does not like. So she doesn't love this one very much because she likes her hands to be free. This one is quite good for the ages of 6 months onwards because it zips down like this, which means you can change their nappy if you need to in the night, because you can leave them zipped up here and just get their legs out, change their nappy, done and dusted. The sewn in hands are great because it means they keep extra warm. My big kid has got, his one doesn't have the hands sewn in. I think that is a feature that has been phased out. I'm not sure exactly. You might have to ask them about that. So this is the I think this is size 4 to 6 Morrison outdoor sleeping bag. I went for the -6 down sleeping bags. So these ones are down. His ones don't have in-sewn hands, but they have the cuff that goes over so his hands can stay extra warm at night. He will be carrying his own sleeping bag, I think, this time in his backpack because he's big enough to do that. So I'll probably get him to carry his own sleeping bag. My toddler is kind of on the verge of phasing out of her Morrison bag, so I'm not sure if I will get, I've got the next size up, but again the hands were sewn in to the older versions of the colder bags and she doesn't like that, so I might need to get them altered. I've got the Neve Gear Waratah -8. This is size regular. I am 6 foot tall and I've gone for the regular size. So this is the quilt. So it kind of folds out like this, and then if you have a sleeping pad, usually you can have some ties that will clip onto the sleeping pad and you can be fully locked in. If we are staying in a tramping hut, then I just put it over us like a quilt or something like that. I don't carry a sheet to a tramping hut, although I know people that do, like put a sheet over the mattress there. I just raw dog it, or I will put my jacket on the mattress and I'll put my face on that to sleep on. I don't like putting my face on the plastic mattress, but I don't mind putting the rest of me because I'm usually wearing stuff. So yes, my hiking boots, these are from Merrill. These ones are brand new. They've just given me some new boots. I work with these guys, so that's why all of our shoes are Merrill. If you ask me what shoes I recommend, I would always say Merrill because they are good boots and we wear them all the time. These are from the Moab range. I have really wide feet. Well, really wide. My feet are wider than other people's, and the Moab range has been really good for my wider feet. When you are looking at tramping boots, don't forget you should probably upsize at least half a size, because when you're exercising, your feet will swell up a bit with the heat. So to prevent blisters and things, don't have boots that are too small. If you're getting blisters, you should probably look at maybe getting new boots, because they should not be giving you blisters unless you've been running a marathon in them. I've also got my Merrill mocks for the hut. Love them. Now, this is a piece of foam. Really good to take for the toddler or for a baby, because especially on a winter hike when the ground is really cold, if you're stopping for lunch or you need to stop for a break or a nappy change, simple piece of foam, perfect to just lay them out on. Also really cheap. Works really well in an emergency if you get stranded and you need to stay somewhere, then you've got something to sit on and keep you insulated from the ground. I also usually carry like an emergency tarp or a shelter. I'm not sure where that is right now. This is my backpack. It is the Kestrel 68 litre from Osprey. I've had this for years. I bought it secondhand a long time ago. I'll show you my other backpack that I... This is the Tonka. It is 75 litres. If I'm only going on an overnight hike, now that my big kid is carrying more gear, I'm more likely to carry the Osprey 68. It's a bit smaller and a bit lighter. If I'm going on bigger multi-day hikes and I'm carrying more gear for all three of us, then I'm more likely to take the Tonka 75 because it has enough room for all of us. Or if we are tenting, then I need the extra space. We've got a lot going on here. I find planning meals is maybe a tricky side of hiking. Before I get into that, this is the Trail Magic carrier. Can we see that? This is the Trail Magic carrier. It clips onto your pack. It's very good. Let's see if we can do that here. So, Trail Magic clips on with a carabiner on the bottom of the pack, and then at the top of the pack it clips onto the load lifters here. Check your pack, make sure it's durable enough to hold it. So basically the Trail Magic clips onto your pack and then the child goes into it and then you've got a carrier. I use the Trail Magic carrier for my toddler because they will walk some but they want to get in and out. It's easy to pop her in and out as she walks. Also, if I'm walking with a toddler, I often put them on my shoulders for short stints of time as well. And I've done a lot of walks with my toddler on my shoulders. I will either carry a water bladder and a water bottle or just a water bottle. Pros and cons to each. The water bladders mean that you can't see how much is left and so you don't know when you're running out. The bottle, you can see how much you've got left so you can portion it. It's easier to refill them, but the water bladder, it's easier to drink them on the go. So depending on the situation, I'll either take a water bottle or a bladder. Some hikers in places where the water is clean will carry a cup and they'll just drink out of each stream they come to. So this time I'm just going to take my little Nalgene bottle. Next up, got toiletries. So, oh, can you see that? I've got my toiletries, toothpaste, all of that stuff. My tooth powder I keep in a little pill bottle. So I keep all the toiletries there. Toilet paper I just keep in a little bag, little plastic bag, toilet paper. I got my pills. This hike I am carrying magnesium supplements to take and I just put them in here. And then I also have vitamin C. I find it helpful. This is my first aid kit. PLB, this is from GME. PLB is a simple little device. You undo it, press the button if you get into an emergency. How do you open this thing? There we go. So, has to be up to the sky, press the button. I train my 6-year-old to know what to do in an emergency. Where even is the button? There's instructions on there. Oh yeah, button. It's quite hard to activate them. I'm training my 6-year-old so he knows what to do if we're going by ourselves. Got my tripod. I just like to take this little one to film content. Super easy. It's from Mighty Ape, I think. I think it's the Gorilla Grip one. Gorilla. If you Google Gorilla Grip or something. Oh no, this is Joby. Like this one, really good. First aid kit, head torch. This one is from Lead Lenser. It's rechargeable, which is cool because I can recharge it and it usually lasts a trip. I don't use my torch a lot unless it's in winter, then we'll use it a lot in the hut. I've got my battery bank. I don't always take a battery bank on an overnight hike sometimes because I film a lot of content and my battery will go flat because of that. This is just a little one. I think it's Kogan 1000 mega amp hours, and then a little thing to charge my phone, obviously. String, because you never know when you're going to need a little bit of string. And then I have all my other little pills. I've got sleeping tablets. Sometimes I don't sleep well in huts, so I have sleeping tablet, arnica, 30C, and then I've got my xylitol mints because I'm all about the xylitol these days. Electrolytes, these are the LMTs. In my first aid kit, I have a fun selection of things. What have we got in here? I've got some pads. I've got Chamomilla 30C. I've got emergency storm matches. I've got my emergency blanket. I've got a whole heap of band-aids. I've got vitamin C lipo. I find that one really good in some situations. I've got wool-aid band-aids, and I've got regular bandages, plasters, bandage, soap wipe. I need to get something else. I seem to be missing my betadine. Usually I have betadine or like antiseptic. I've got paracetamol, electrolytes, aspirin, antihistamines, blister tape. Blister tape's quite good. I think that's medical tape. A lighter. There's a few things that I need to. Oh, it's a whole heap of. There's a whole heap of plasters and band-aids and stuff. Oh, and a cough lolly. Yeah, and that is my little thing of my face cream. That probably needs to go into the toiletries. Survival balm. This one's good. Mild burns, cracked skin, insect bites. I've got my little bottle of tallow zinc. This is especially good for the toddler. In the cold winter, their face gets quite exposed to the weather, and I think it's really good to keep their face with some kind of barrier cream. So I love the tallow and zinc lotion. This one is from It's All Good. I work with these guys. I've got a little affiliate code there. Love them, amazing stuff. This I take on pretty much all my trips. It's good stuff. And the survival balm is also from It's All Good. So there we go. 2 of my favorite products. Glass bottle is a little bit heavier. Yes, I can probably convert it into a smaller container if I felt like it. All my first aid stuff I keep in a bag. This dry bag is from Kmart. Kmart is great for stuff like this. It's 5 litres. It has been starting to wear out a little bit. But if something's really important, like my electronics, I double bag it. I put the electronics in like a Ziploc bag, and then I'll put them into the dry bag because I don't want them to get wet. But that would be if you were going on a big hike and you're getting absolutely soaked, or, you know. This is what we're eating, apparently. I like taking ready-made freeze-dried meals as an emergency backup because these are a little bit more expensive than other foods. So I try to ration these out on either bigger hikes, or I save them for an emergency, for if we eat all of our food or we get stranded in the hut. It's always good to have something extra to back up. So I got my backcountry cuisine honey soy chicken. The backcountry meals are the cheapest at Pack and Save here in New Zealand. I've got some pretzels. These are gluten-free ones. I actually really like them. Those are snacks. We're looking at main meals. Stay focused. This is homemade dehydrated food. I've shared other videos around making food and stuff, so you can check that out. But yeah, homemade dehydrated beef mince and veggies. Dehydrating your own food, super easy, super cheap. It does lose some nutrients, but it's better than nothing. So I've got beef mince. We're gonna eat that for dinner, I think, or breakfast. I don't actually know. I just throw in 3 meals, or how many meals we need, and I pick and choose what I want to eat. Or usually I eat the heaviest food first. So we've got sushi, and I've got sushi rice. This is the rice that's not instant, so you've got to bring it to the boil and cook it and stuff, but I'm going to try it out this time making the rice myself. So yeah, we're going to have sushi with a couple of tuna sachets to put in, and I've made some carrot sticks to put in as well, and another extra can of tuna because proteins. This is another homemade dehydrated meal that I've put into a packet that I've already used. Peas, mince, leeks and onions, so that's another meal. That might be breakfast or dinner or lunch. And I've got some 2-minute noodles to put with that. For the hike and the snacks, I've got cheese and crackers, and I've also got biltong. For dessert, I've got milk powder and instant dessert for either breakfast or a snack or whatever. I've got this muesli we got sent, Bushline Breakfast Adventurous Bircher Raspberry Apple. It's gluten-free, which is quite cool. I got sent that a while ago, so I'm excited to try that out. So I've got the milk powder to have that with. Oh, and I've got my pretzels. I recently got these ones. These are from Mitchell's Nutrition. This is bone broth powder. So I got this to try. This is the sports one. It's got grass-fed beef bones, functional mushrooms. Looks good. And I've also got this Radix one that I haven't used before, post-workout smoothie. I've come to the conclusion that tramping is a high-impact sport and we need to fuel it accordingly. So we need things like post-workout recovery, because when we get to the hut, I don't feel like eating, so I should probably have like a shake, a protein shake or something just to fuel me on. Learning. Muesli bars. Muesli bars are great for the kids. I just have a whole heap on hand. This is mine because it's gluten-free. Packet of raisin snacks. I like these sushi snacks for the kids. My toddler quite likes them. They're good because it's not just starchy carbs, it's seaweed, so it's a good snack if you want something slightly healthier. I've got a probiotic yogurt thing for my toddler. Probably eat that at some stage. And then I've got a couple of instant soups. I think this is just creamy chicken soup. Electrolytes. I love the pure electrolytes. These are one of my favorites. They just taste really good and they just feel amazing. The LMTs are quite salty and sweet, so I'm not the biggest fan of them, but I have a whole heap to use up, so I'm just using them. And I also just carry a packet of salt because I hate bland food, so salt just in case. And yes, this is in a breast milk bag because I had a whole heap of them to use. These pure energy gels, amazing, love them. Caramel latte for myself, and I've also been given these bone broth chocolate samples from, this is from Harvest Fusion. They sent me them a while ago, the other day. So Harvest Fusion hot chocolate, so keen to try those. This is just from the supermarket. It's a sports electrolyte drink. So this is to show that you can get expensive ones or super cheap ones from the supermarket. Honestly, it doesn't matter. They both kind of work the same. Yes, some of them are probably better than others or worse, but in the grand scheme of things, we're all gonna die one day, so you can't stress about absolutely everything. And I've also got some extra hot chocolate powder for the kids. So yes, cooking. This is my Primus stove. I've got a couple of teas in here as well. This one is just under a litre. Perfect size for me and the kids. I only have one bowl because this is a bowl, this is a bowl. When you're tramping, you want to save weight and save time, so I will cook the food in this, and then I'll eat out of this. My big kid has his own bowl, and then the toddler can eat out of the lid. I've got a couple of cups for the kids because this is my cup and this is the kids' cup, so you can always wash them and reuse them. So yeah, toddler child, this one. These are from either Kmart or the Warehouse. They're just little enamel mugs, and the same with the bowl. Like, it's just enamel bowl from the Warehouse. Super cheap. It's not like the super lightest or the fanciest thing, but it works. It's durable. It's fine. I think this one might be from Macpac. This one's from the Warehouse or something. I don't know, but there's a couple of spoon forks. I probably should find another one before we go. Gas canister, recommend carrying 2 just in case one fails, you've got a backup. I'm going tramping with a friend, so I'm only carrying 1 because she'll carry a gas canister and I can flog off hers if I need to. And then this is the cooker thing. If you've never used a gas stove before, basically it connects on like this. Oh, there we go, can you see that? You twist it onto the gas bottle. It makes a bit of a noise if it's something a bit funny. And then gas bottle, you twist it and then the gas will come on. There we go. Gas on. Don't use these in closed areas. If you are making stuff in a tramping hut, open the window so you've got air ventilation. It's gas. You could gas yourself and die, so don't do that. Anyways, this is all my cooking stuff. So yeah, that is about everything. And with my homemade dehydrated meals, they can often take a little bit of time to rehydrate. I also carry a thermos. This one's from Kmart. I've been looking at getting ones that are maybe slightly less bulkier or lighter, but this is kind of what we've got at the moment. Thermoses are great to take tramping because, especially in winter when it's cold, you can put a hot meal into it, and that's what I'm going to do on the first day. I'm probably going to put something hot like soup into it, so when we stop for lunch I can have hot soup with my cheese and crackers, and that'll be a good meal. It's a good way to keep the kids warm when it's really cold. I'll also put hot chocolate in it maybe, yeah, either soup or hot chocolate, and then they'll have something hot. It also can double as my cup or drink bottle, or it can double as my cup when we go, yeah, so there we go. There's always something that you're going to forget or miss out. And when you're going tramping into a hut in New Zealand, you also might want to carry fire starters and some newspaper just in case the hut doesn't have them. And of course a lighter or some matches or both. So there we have it. I hope that helps give you the confidence to get out hiking and explore more. Obviously keep in mind that my gear changes and evolves as time goes on. You've got your basic necessities, but sometimes you forget stuff, sometimes things happen, whatever. You can only do the best that you can do, and that's about it. Is that going to all fit in there? I don't think that spork's going to fit in very well. It's not the right shape. So this is a pack liner. It's basically a giant big plastic bag. I put it inside my backpack to keep everything warm and dry. It's not going to stay warm, it's going to be freezing. It's going to keep everything dry in case it rains. You can put a pack cover on. Is that camera even looking at me? I can't even see. It's the back camera, so I can't see what's going on. Hopefully you can see me. My backpack's got a rain cover that I put over top of it, but I'm going to put the thing inside because I like everything to be double waterproofed. You don't know if you're going to be crossing something and fall into something or get absolutely drenched. The big plastic bag also doubles as an emergency bag if you are out in the wild. So if you fall over on the track, break your leg, you can pull everything out, you can jump into this big giant waterproof yellow bag, and maybe it's big enough I could probably fit me and 1 or 2 kids in there, or maybe just the kids. I've also got the emergency blanket obviously, but this is great for something extra, you know. It's always good to be prepared. Alright, we're going to fit everything in. When you are packing your tramping backpack, I've got side pockets here, so I'll put snacks that don't mind if they get water because they'll be sealed anyways. I'll put snacks in the side pockets, water bottle on the outer pocket. I'll put stuff that we need the most on the top and in here, so that we don't have to be getting it in and out all the time. I like these Osprey backpacks because a lot of them have these hip pockets, so I can put things like lip balm and stuff in them. The one thing I would love for backpacks to have is really big hip pockets, because that's the one thing that I miss the most, is having big hip pockets. These ones are not big enough. We need big hip pockets. So if there is a company that designs backpacks that's watching this, we need a backpack with big hip pockets, because that is the biggest annoyance. You've got the, what are those packs called? The ARN packs, the AARN. They are quite good, so I've got the big things on the front. I can't use one of those with the baby carrier on the front because it would get in the way, but those are quite good because you can access stuff. That's the hardest thing, is everything is packed in here and you've got to try and access it. So anyways, sleeping bags in the bottom, the heaviest, bulkiest stuff at the bottom of the pack. The stuff that you need the most in the very top of the pack. The stuff that is 50-50 in the middle of the pack. Weight distribution is very important when you are packing your pack, because if you have everything on one side or you have all your weight at the top, you're not going to be able to walk very well because you're going to be wobbling all over the place. When I've packed my pack terribly, the walk was so much harder. You want to make sure that your heaviest stuff is at the bottom and at the back. You want to make sure that the lighter stuff is towards the top, because it just makes it easier. Jackets and extra layers I'll put on the top. Gloves and hats I'll also probably put in the top thing in a dry bag to keep them dry. But yeah, things that you're going to need on the walk. So we use hiking poles. I love them. Some people don't like them. Kids can be a bit of a hazard because they wave them around if they are kids. This one is a Lecky one. I've had this for a long time. These are from Domex. When it comes to hiking poles, people ask me about kids hiking poles. This is literally just a normal adult's hiking pole, but short. So, you know, you extend it long to walk with it, and then I put it down short for the child. So hiking poles are amazing because they are so versatile. You can have them for a big kid or a little kid. I think the wrist straps are gone from that one, but I love hiking poles, especially if I'm walking and carrying a lot of heavy weight. I wouldn't always take them if I'm not carrying a huge amount of heavy weight or trying to walk fast on rough terrain. I find them amazing at helping with balance and stability. When I'm carrying a baby on the front, I can power on a bit further, a bit easier. If we're doing a lot of climbing, they sometimes get in the way. Sometimes I love them and I need them, and other times they just get in the way and they're a real pain. Some people never use them, some people love them. I personally really like them. I will eat, at least one is good. I believe hiking poles take about 30% of your energy. I think they was it like 10% or 20% of your body weight or something like that. Some kind of percentage, I can't remember. So yeah. Backpack packed. It's a bit smaller than it has been in the past. This is my child's water bladder, so I'll pop that in now. But yeah, there we go. We are packed and ready to go on a hike tomorrow. It's only an overnight. We're walking 7 kilometers, I believe, and it's going to be so much fun. I need to let the air out. I get asked for hiking advice and tips and such all the time, and I never feel like I'm much of an expert. I just do this all the time, so I'm hoping that I'm sharing stuff that can be helpful, but I also don't think I'm the most expert person because, well, I have been doing this all my life. I just do it. I don't really think too much. So there we go. And his backpack is probably about 5 kgs, which is the perfect weight for him, but he'll drink his up and go in 5 minutes and then that'll be gone. So there we go. That's what my toddler's wearing tomorrow, that's what I'm wearing, and that's what my big kid is wearing walking. Hope that was helpful. Don't forget to like, subscribe and follow for more. Currently 11 kgs. I don't know how it's so light, but doing pretty good for this trip.